Good, happy Thursday morning, October 31st, 2019. And happy Halloween, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday morning, so let's begin. First up, neighbors raise concerns about I-293 widening plan. Proposal would mean the state would acquire several properties. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
This is the Chevy Trax, the Chevy Equinox, the all-new Chevy Blazer, and the roomy Chevy Traverse. No matter what you're looking for in an SUV, Chevy's got you covered.
State DOT officials discussed their proposed changes to a 3.5-mile stretch of 293. Their goal is to correct safety deficiencies and accommodate future traffic growth while improving access to the highway. Part of the plan means the state must acquire several businesses and homes.
Two of them are a gas station, and there's another business down in that area. And in addition, there are 3 residential homes right here on Front Street that would require full acquisition under this plan.
Construction would widen the highway and reconfigure access on and off exits 6 and 7.
It looks like it's going to save Amoskeag, which is a nightmare for all of us.
Kirsten Kochanik is also concerned about how the proposal could directly impact her home. Changes along Front Street would put her and 2 other homeowners on a private road.
And right now I'm feeling a little bit like a mouse under the foot of an elephant. In speaking with both neighbors, none of us care to take on this extreme burden of the shared driveway.
They're asking that the state make it a dead-end road so it will continue to be maintained by the city.
A city-maintained road will ensure that we are granted the same services from the city that we currently have, including ongoing road maintenance, trash recycle pickup, snow management, and plowing.
Official public comment can be submitted to the state through November 7th. Construction is expected to begin in 2024. We're live in Manchester tonight. Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. University System of New Hampshire freezes tuition for in-state students for 2020 to 2021. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Charisse LeClaire.
This is the Chevy Trax, the Chevy Equinox, the all-new Chevy Blazer, and the roomy Chevy Traverse. No matter what you're looking for in an SUV, Chevy's got you covered.
Save a few $1,000s at that point.
Must be nice.
But that is wonderful news.
Good news for in-state students at Keene State College, Granite State College, Plymouth State University, and the University of New Hampshire. The University System of New Hampshire typically gets about $81 million appropriated in the state budget, keeping tuition hikes anywhere from 1.5% to 2.5% each academic year. But the 2-year state budget that was recently passed allocates $85.5 million this fiscal year and $87.5 the following, allowing for a tuition freeze for academic year 2020 to 2021.
It's good for everybody, though, that they did that, because it's not cheap to come here.
According to College Board, New Hampshire has nearly the highest in-state tuition in the country, second only to Vermont schools, with an average of $16,460 for academic year 2018 to 2019. The national average is $10,230 a year for tuition. The most expensive of the four schools in the university system, UNH, has an in-state tuition and fees totaling $18,879, while Keene State College and Plymouth State University sit just under $12,000 for in-state students.
Makes me feel good that they're able to keep it lower, but I'd be worried about it being raised in the future. So it's almost like postponing it.
Now, the budget also gives UNH $9 million that will help double its nursing capacity and also create a state-of-the-art patient simulation center. Live in Manchester, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Sanders to return to New Hampshire today to file for primary ballot. Battle with Biden on health care plan, cost ramp up. Supporters of Senator Bernie Sanders are predicting a huge turnout when he returns to New Hampshire State House today to file for his first in the nation primary. The 2016 Democrat primary winner began his first visit to the state since October 1st. His heart attack with rally at Keene State College on Wednesday night. His campaign had a day of action in Concord on Saturday, featuring an endorsement by Nashua Alderman at large. Following his filing, Sanders will hold a rally at the State House on the lawn. (2019) Halloween trick-or-treating dates, times in New Hampshire. As you know, many communities are rescheduling their Halloween trick-or-treat times tonight due to the weather that will be taking place this evening. Rain and wind. But here is a list of Halloween trick-or-treating times in the communities. Let's take a look. Let's start with the A's. As you see in parentheses, that means it's rescheduled due to the rain that is coming today. Okay, there you go. And if you want to see that list, we will share the link with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page. U.S. stocks point to higher open after Fed signals a pause in rate cuts. U.S. stock index features were higher Thursday morning. John Bolton summoned to testify in impeachment inquiry. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Capitol Hill tonight, where all eyes will be on the House tomorrow. The full House is set to take its first impeachment vote tomorrow, and it comes amid new questions tonight about who handled the transcript of that call between President Trump and the President of Ukraine. After the national security officer testified yesterday that he listened in on that call and alerted authorities to key parts of the call that were not included in the transcript that was made public. And there is word tonight. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton has now been formally asked to testify, but will he comply? Mary Bruce on the Hill.
Tonight, the president's former National Security Advisor John Bolton is being summoned to testify in the impeachment inquiry. Multiple witnesses have testified Bolton was deeply frustrated by the campaign to pressure Ukraine to investigate Trump's political rivals. According to a top aide, Bolton once described the president's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, as a hand grenade who's going to blow everybody up. Today, Deputy Secretary of State John Sullivan said Giuliani was behind a smear campaign targeting the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch.
You were aware that there were individuals and forces outside of the State Department seeking to smear Ambassador Yovanovitch, is that correct?
I was.
And to seeking to remove her, is that correct?
I was.
And did you know Mr. Giuliani was one of those people?
I believed he was, yes.
It comes as there are new questions about the phone call at the center of this impeachment inquiry between President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky. Trump insists the White House released a complete transcript.
Word for word, comma for comma, done by people that do it for a living. We had an exact transcript.
But Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, who was on that call, reportedly told lawmakers that crucial phrases were left out. According to the New York Times, Vindman testified the document released by the White House did not include comments from the president that there were recordings of former Vice President Joe Biden discussing corruption. The Times reports that Vindman said the Ukrainian president also made an explicit mention of the energy company where Biden's son Hunter served on the board. That's not in the transcript either. Vindman, who works on the National Security Council, says he tried to add these details to the official document, but according to the Times, his edits were not included, and it's not clear why.
Mary Bruce with us live on the Hill tonight. And Mary, former National Security Advisor John Bolton, as I mentioned there, has now been summoned to testify next week. And, of course, the big question tonight, will he show up? What are you learning?
Well, David, the president will likely try to block Bolton from appearing, but we have just learned that Bolton's legal team says that Bolton is not willing to appear voluntarily, but his attorney tells us, David, that he is ready to accept a subpoena.
Hi, everyone. George Stuff.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.